Christmas?
How about you?
How was yours?
It was good. It was good. Got to chill with the fam. It's always a good time chilling with the family.
What do you think of Jalen Ramsey as a quarterback?
He one of the top corners in the league. He been doing it for a long time. So it's gonna be a good challenge.
Were there more opportunities than, the 3 targets and 2 catches? I know they were double teaming you, but when you went back and watched the film, did it look like there were more chances for you?
There was some opportunities out there. But unfortunately we just couldn't execute at a high level. So gotta find another way to do that.
I know after the game, I know we talked about just like this week, spending some time with DTR and working through some more things and kind of getting on the same page and chemistry-wise. Just how's that process gone, and how have you guys kind of worked to continue to make the most of those opportunities next year?
DTR been doing a good job. Just been working. We just stay in contact. Keep communicating what we see on and off the field. That's the best way to do it. Just so we be on the same page.
As this season has progressed for you, and you've had these explosive games that you've had, have you seen defenses attack you differently as this year's gone on?
Yes. Now I see a lot of two-mans, Tampa 2 coverages, a lot of underneath, 2 high safeties. So, that's the biggest difference I've seen these past few weeks.
Jerry, we know the goal is to win. So aside from that, you've already hit 1,000 yards. Is there another target within your reach individually?
My target is to win these next 2 games.
I mean, aside from that?
Huh? Nah. I just want to win these next 2 games.
There's some uncertainty over whether David is going to play or whether Seth is going to play. And obviously that makes it tougher on you because then they can double team you. So if those guys can't play, what do you guys do to make sure that that you're not taking all that extra time?
David said, 2 great players, but we got a lot of great guys. If you want to double team me, you got Elijah getting open, you got our tight ends getting open, you got all the rest of the receivers getting open. So, they could try to double team me. Other guys gonna eat. So that's a good thing of having other great receivers around you.
When you look at this, this Miami secondary, what do you see and what is most challenging for you as you prepare?
I see a lot of zone, a lot of disguise coverages. So the biggest thing is for me is just read my triangle. Believe what I see out there. That's the biggest thing for real. Just making sure that I believe in what I see out there and don't let how they maneuver around on the field kind of mess up what I see.
This is your last home game of the season. What have you felt from Browns fans, and what do you feel about playing in their home fans and maybe finishing strong?
I definitely felt since the first game, since the Cowboys game, I felt a lot of energy out there, a lot of passion. Unfortunately, we ain't come out with a lot the wins at home like the fans and we expected. But I definitely feel the energy. I definitely feel the support out there. Hopefully next year it'll be way better than before.
Jerry, much like your 4 years in Denver, you had to play with a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And yet you've had your best individual season. So do you think you've turned the corner on your career?
My bad. I'm
Do you
sorry.
think you've turned the corner on your career with this season you've had?
Oh yeah, for sure. The biggest thing is just staying consistent. That's where I'm at with everything right now. Just staying consistent, staying at just not a one-time thing. I could do this for the rest of my career, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
With the DTR's ability to scramble like he does, so he plays with his feet. Do you have to go back to more of that scrambling stuff that you were doing earlier in the season?
Yeah, most definitely. Since DTR a great scrambling quarterback that know how to maneuver through the pocket, and we definitely got to stay on top of that just because the type of quarterback he is, and make sure we're always available to him when it's time to make a play.
And just the market is pretty hot with DTR. I know he's got a strong
Yeah, DTR do got a strong arm. We do come pretty hot, but of course it's catchable. So that's the only thing that matters, So yeah. Yep. Thank you.
Respect your elders, brother. Respect your elders. Let's go. First question.
Tell us about Tua. What are you seeing on Tua this season? What do you worry about?
He's been pretty good since he's got back. Fast release time, very high completion percentage. That works within their scheme. So he's doing a good job. A lot of short passes. Yeah. Nothing really. They can kill you short and then they can lull you to sleep throwing short and then throw it long. So we gotta do our job either way it goes, but just expect what's coming.
Does that put even more pressure on you guys, though, from a tackling standpoint, because of those short passes to maybe take advantage of them and force them just into the short gains?
Yeah, they do a great job of, they know their personnel. They know they're not, contested catches, down the field guys. So they'll get them in space, let them run, and make us tackle. So that's the game plan, and, we still studying it.
Are they the fastest team collectively that you face this year?
I would assume they're the fastest in the league, right? Yeah. What? Say it again? Yeah, I played him 3 times. Yeah. He beat me twice. Wait, no. Twice.
Does it look like you guys are going to get the home field advantage of having it be like 20 degrees on Sunday and try to hope to get it?
Yeah, I think they played in Green Bay, right? So I think they're kind of experienced with a cold game this year. So I'm not banking on that much of an advantage.
And how much of a concerted effort do they do get A-chain the ball? Looks like, just numbers, just catching a bunch of passes, running it. What stands out about it?
Yeah, the type of back he is, he fits their offense. So they'll get him out there, try to get a mismatch on a wheel or something like that. In the flat, wheels, or angle routes, screens. They got the most screens in the NFL by far, I think. So, they try to give him the ball. They got like a lot of fast guys. So our D-line going to have to run. Our 3 techs going to have to get from that outside nose of the guard to the sideline, and that nose going to have to get from that inside nose of the guard to the sideline. So our D-line got to run, and we got to tackle too.
How much would you like to, send the home fans with a victory in the season finale?
Yeah, right. I think they deserve it. We're doing everything we can to win this game. So that's our game plan, and I'm doing whatever I can to win every snap. So we know that, and hopefully get the fans one on the last one.
Do you guys as DBs talk about this year, the turnovers and wanting to get more takeaways? I guess how much of a topic of conversation has that been this season?
Yeah, I just want to win, to be honest. I just want to win. So if the takeaways come with it, it does. But we got to do a better job of getting the ball, of course. But whatever it takes to win. Good. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you gotta put some Buckeye gear on.
See a lot of speed up there on that Miami team?
Oh yeah, no question. They definitely got a lot of speed. A lot of talented guys out there, everywhere, running back position, receiver position. So you definitely bring a different challenge to us that we got to face.
How much pressure does the short passing attack that they present put on you guys as a secondary?
Yeah, they do a good job of getting their guys the ball quick and letting them make plays in space and try to get out of there fast. So we definitely got to do our best to eliminate that as best as we can and make plays out there.
Is Tyreek the same Tyreek you've ever seen
Yeah, he's still a great player, fast player. And like I said, you get the ball in his hands, he's dangerous. So, like I said, we got to try to find a way to eliminate that and do it the best we can.
And those 6 footers back there for you to cover this week.
Yeah, it don't matter to me. But yeah, it's definitely a different challenge with guys being taller or shorter. So it's definitely a different thing when facing those jump balls or 50-50 balls like that. So yeah, it definitely presents a different challenge.
Feels like this is one game where you want it to be 30 degrees outside because of, Miami and their reputation for not playing well in the cold. So were you a little disappointed when you saw that forecast Sunday?
Nah, it don't matter to me. I'll play any condition. So I'm just looking forward to getting to the game and trying to find a way to get a win.
Watching Hard Knocks this week, I was struck by watching the Bengals prep for you guys last week and them saying defensively it starts with Miles and you for this team. I guess you kind of revel in that, knowing opposing teams are trying to figure out how to neutralize you and stuff.
Yeah, it's much respect. Got a lot of respect for those guys over there. Just trying to do our best we can to be those playmakers out there on the field where you got to try to defend against or scheme up to try to eliminate us. So just trying to be those guys out there on the field for our team. And they did a good job, obviously, last week in getting a win. So, yeah, just trying to be that guy out there.
How do you get ready for the shot plays that Miami can take, especially with a guy like Tyreek, versus knowing that they throw it as often as they do short?
Yeah, I mean, it was really just doing our job and executing our assignment. So knowing that and just being alert of it, but just executing our assignment, and that should put us in position to make those plays.
Denzel, last week, Miles here said he doesn't want to do any more rebuilding. He's ready to win. He wants to know what the team's plan is going into this season. You came in just a year after him. Do you have the same attitude? I like that beanie. You're anxious to get out of this?
Yeah, I'm ready to win as well. So I'm ready to win as well. I know Miles is too. We competitors and winners, and we just looking to try to find a way to get to the top and obviously not have a losing season like we have now. So we're just really just looking for the how to get there. So we're trying to find out how to get there, and that's the biggest thing.
Considering what you guys expected going into this season, have you been able to pinpoint what has gone so wrong for you guys this year? And also, at the same time, what it's going to take to fix it so you don't go through another season like this?
Yeah, I haven't really pinpointed yet. Like I think a lot of the reevaluation will take place once the season's over with and being able to go through the entire season and looking at everything. So right now, we're just trying to compete and play hard still and finish out as strong as we can.
Will you sort of ask for the same kinds of, Miles saying he wants to see what the winning plan is going to be? I know he's in a sort of a different situation a little bit, but I mean, are you going to ask for something?
When they show Miles, I'll just look over Miles' shoulder and and see what the plan is, and I'm ready to go forward with it, whatever it is. So that's how I'll do.
He said a lot of guys on defense thought the same way that he does. Have you guys had those kind of discussions?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, everybody just want to win. Like we all competitors out here. No one wants to have a losing season and lose majority of our games. So our biggest thing is trying to find a way to win. And however we got to get to that, we got to work hard to try to get there.
It seemed like one of the points he was making with that, though, was feeling like a lot of the individual pieces on defense that you guys can have success largely as the group you are. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I feel we could definitely have success. I mean, we showed spurts of that throughout the season, but I mean, we got to put it all together, offense, defense, and special teams, and try to find a way to play complementary ball. That's the biggest thing.
The season hasn't gone the way anybody hoped, but what would it mean for you guys to get at least one last win at home in front of hometown fans?
Man, that'd be huge, man. That's our biggest thing, trying to find a way to get a win and just to get that winning feeling back. That's what we're working towards, to get that winning feeling back and do it in front of our fans in the last home game will be huge for the city and for us. Thank you, guys.
Just the way he says it. DTR, what's up, man?
What's going on, boss? Yes, sir.
Dorian, how did your calf come through? How does it feel now, and how do you feel heading into this game?
Yeah,
starting out into last week, was kind of feeling a little tightness in there. Second play of the game, probably took a wrong step, trying to push off it on that quarterback keeper. It just kind of felt like a big pop in there, like a big strain. Got back in here, got some treatment on it. Feels really well right now. The guys in here have been taking care of me. And then with this schedule, with Christmas having off, and us coming in here on Tuesday, they gave me a little extra few days to let it rest up. So it feels great right now.
It looked like you ran it pretty well though the rest of the game. Did you think it slowed you down at all?
Nothing could ever slow me down if it's not broke or torn all the way off the bone. I'll play with any injury there is, and that's just kind of how I've always been, whether it dates back to college or whatever. You know, I live for moments like those to, you know, go out there and play. So I wouldn't want anything to take away from that. So.
You had to throw a lot since then. I mean, wouldn't you like to see a little more balance in the play selection?
That's not my job. My job is to go out there and run this offense and get us up and down the field and score each and every drive. And like I said, in each and every drive with a kick. And right now we're focusing on not trying to beat ourselves. The turnovers, the penalties, the things that set us back offensively is really the things we're trying to work to clean up. So.
Dorian, we saw the clip on Hard Knocks where you're sitting in the room with Jameis and he's kind of walking you through his weekly routine, what he does each day of the week. What did that mean to you, the fact that he's taking the time to kind of walk you through his processes, and then also too, what did you learn from it? What do you feel like you can implement from that to help you?
I mean, since I've gotten here, as you guys know, there's been a bunch of veteran quarterbacks that have come through so far in my year and a half of being here. And with every guy that comes through here, I've done the exact same thing, trying to ask them as many questions as possible. Like I said, I'm still a young guy, so trying to build up my routine and repertoire as I go through this thing, even though I feel like I've set a pretty good foundation for it. But, Jameis has been, like I said, great all year, whether I'm up, Deshaun's up, whoever's in there, or whether he's in there. Just showing, like I said, he's been around guys like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, so I'm sure he's asked the same questions. But Jameis has helped out a lot with just being able to see things pre-snap, coverages, fronts, eliminate things from your reads a little bit quicker, earlier, getting into different protections, tips and tricks that he's learned along the way. Like I said, that could only help me out, so I figured I'd ask.
The game didn't go the way you wanted, obviously, but you feel better having been through it, and now you're in a little bit of a routine as the starter?
I mean, Tony, you could have asked the same thing last year. We're not going to use that as an excuse anymore. Like I said, this isn't my first time playing. I'm not a rookie no more, so I can't use that as an excuse. I got to go out there and be able to execute. And when things don't go right, don't make a bad play worse. And like I said, those are kind of the things I'm working to eliminate.
At least you have something to look at and correct.
Yes, yes.
And you feel good about correcting that.
Yeah, of course. That's what Monday through Friday is for. And definitely coming in here being a big self-critic of myself on Monday, and really, dissecting that film for each play as its own, and not trying to, sugarcoat stuff or point fingers here and there. Like looking myself truly in the mirror on each and every play, good or bad, just so we can correct it up and clean it for next week. That's a good question. I mean, that these guys, they have my back. They were encouraging me, not only during the game, but after the game. I think everybody in here sees the potential, and that's probably the most frustrating thing to me, is that I'm not showing it right now, and so that's what I'm working towards, is trying to be able to put a complete, full game out there on Sunday. So.
We talked to Jerry about just you guys continuing to kind of get on the same page and work through some things, and as you're building chemistry with a receiver, just how does that process go? What are those conversations like?
Yeah, I mean, getting the ball. That's probably the biggest thing. He's a great receiver, great route runner, knows how to create separation. And even when he's doubled, after looking back at that last game, even when he got doubled on a few plays, he broke free. Whether it's second window or on a choice route, like just finding space. And so that's probably the biggest thing, is making sure I can trust him and his routes, and then obviously he's going to trust me to put the ball where it's supposed to. So That's probably the biggest thing. We're getting on the same page with him is, just doing my part and getting him the ball.
Did you work on yourself getting off of him too quickly?
Yeah, for sure. Again, I'm trying to go through my reads. We hadn't really practiced them doubling Jerry as much as they did. So kind of had to adjust on the fly, but again, that falls back on me on knowing the timing and spacing of the concepts, and then just trusting our best receiver.
When you went back and watched the film, the interceptions, were those avoidable? Like, what did you see with those?
All interceptions are avoidable. It's all based on the quarterback's decision to either hold on to the ball or throw it. The one in the red zone, we didn't get to our zero check with the amount of time that was on the clock. So right then and there, you're already stuck into a bad play with the protection. Like I just mentioned, don't make a bad play worse. Eat the sack, kick a field goal, don't give them back the momentum. The second one to Dave, definitely a bonehead play on me. Like I talked about on Sunday, trying to give one of our best 50-50 ball players a chance right there. But again, that goes back to, don't put the ball in harm's way. The quarterback rule that lives for 100 years of don't throw late over the middle. And really just trusting my legs like I had been bragging about and talking about all last week, to be able to use it in that situation instead of trying to throw up a play. So,
when you went back and watched it, what could you have done, if anything, to help negate some of those negative plays? Right, I think it was 5 sacks, and a couple of those runs. The guy comes off the edge and tackles your fill off. So, is there something you could have done to avoid some of those?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the sacks. It's a big emphasis for me this week is stepping up in the pocket. I did for the majority of the game, but like you said, a few of those plays, they caught me where it was a 6-yard sack instead of being a 1 or 2 yard sack, and we're in 2nd and 12 instead of 2nd and 15. And then really the run plays early on in the game, they had a great plan, blitzing the nickel. Wasn't too much I could do. It's not like I could have seen the rotation or anything with the motions. And so I'd say that was definitely a good defensive call on their part. But definitely the sacks, I could definitely do a lot better job in that area for sure.
If you've been studying this Miami defense, what concerns you most as you prepare to face them?
Yeah, it's a disguised defense. They may not zero you or pressure you a bunch, but they're going to run a ton of games up front. They're going to switch the coverage on you every down and really try to make the quarterback think. So, again, that falls on me not putting the ball in harm's way and keeping us moving on 1st and 2nd down so we're not stuck in 3rd and longs.
You don't have David or said this game. How are you going to get it done?
Yeah, we didn't have said last game, and Dave was banged up for most of last game. So it's going to be the same game plan, same process for me in terms of going through my reads. Like I said, we still have Jerry, our best receiver, so really focusing on getting him the ball. And then other than that, we got great talent in the receiver room and at tight end, guys that I trust fully with Jordan Akins, Blake Whiteheart, and then obviously E. Moore, and those guys that are stepping up in the receiver room for sure. So I have no worries come Sunday. I was just out there at practice today, and it looked seamless. So, like I said, I'm not worried about that.
Is it when Joe Burrow says to stick with your legs, and that kind of reinforce your own beliefs?
Yeah, we both are coached up by the same trainer in the off season. I watch a ton of his tape. Me and Jameis actually talk about how efficient he moves in the pocket. Something we try to emulate. But yeah, when one of the best to do it right now in this season tells you something like that, and it's obviously something I already know, but just to hear from him, it means a lot. So
coming into a game, you obviously know on each play where potential escape routes are. How different can that be, though, from what happens in real time?
It's very different than you sitting there with a clicker and stopping it every 5 seconds versus when the bullets are flying live. But yeah, you kind of know based off of whether it's personnel, how their front is lined up pre-snap, how we're blocking, the protection we're sending to, of kind of where your escape routes are going to be. And then you also got to take into account where your routes are going to end up going to, so that way you have somebody to throw to if the defense does want to come up on you. So.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, so I'm going to, finish the year as strong as I can, and see how we feel in a couple of weeks, and go from there.
What will be the determining factors for you once you get past this season? What will you be thinking about before you make your decision?
Truthfully, it's mostly personal, just like how my body feels. Going into another season. Like the game, like it's an amazing game, like blessed to play it, but it's a stressful game. Like you put a lot on your body. Like how are you going to feel in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years? And so we'll just go from there, talk with the family, and kind of see where we're at. Yeah, I want to, the goal now, like you're in year 11, year 12, like you want to try and win games. Like it's hard to go out there and go have 3 wins right now. Like that's been tough. Like it's tough on your body. Like you just don't feel as good on Monday when you're losing games. So it's part of the process, and you'd love to hear what the plan is, going forward, and kind of see where we're at, see how much winning you can do. I don't know specifically with Joe Thomas, but he was like in the start/middle of a rebuild when he was retiring, and I don't know if that played a factor or if he was just done anyway. But you see that sometimes with guys where it's like, what do they have, coming back and stuff like that. But that's all stuff I'm going to worry about in the off season. Right now, I got a game to play, and we got to lock in because they have some good players up front.
Can I ask you one more follow-up?
Yeah, that's fine.
And that is, Miles did mention that the quarterback and who's going to be the quarterback is going to be a key issue for him. Is that something that you're going to look very, very closely at and make sure that there's going to be a winning quarterback in here?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like, I don't know what they think up there, but like, I'm going to be a Cleveland Brown, I think, for my career. So if I come back, like, whatever decision they make at quarterback is what decision they make. So I'm not as young as Miles, where you have some options other places. So for me, it's more going to be like how I feel personally, how my family feels, and all that stuff.
We know Joe always wanted to do that, as you just said. Why not seek an exit to a Super Bowl contending team?
I think it's hard to, like, I mean, Cleveland gave me a chance, and I've been here for 11 years. And, there's been some, losing and things like that, but we've had some moments where, we've won, and we've had some runs here, and those memories are always great for me. But they've given me so much, and I love this organization and what they've done for me and my family. And at this point in my career, like, I just can't see myself putting on a different helmet. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And that's kind of what it's. And like, it's hard to pick, like, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to pick a team that needs a left guard that wants to bring you in, that wants to take care of you, and you make that decision to be like, hey, we're going to win a Super Bowl here, and quarterback gets hurt, or someone gets hurt, or you get hurt, and then you're like, dang, I just chased this Super Bowl for what purpose? Like, it's easy in hindsight to be like, oh yeah, Joe should have gone to Denver that one year, but like, you don't know what would have happened when he goes out there and stuff like that. So I think that all that is so hard to to decide on. It's just that would be out of the question for me.
When you mentioned this Miami front, game question for you here.
There you go.
You meant just what's challenging about that defensive front that they throw in?
They've been a little banged up on the edges, with Phillips, and I don't know, Chubb's been practicing, but I don't know if he's coming back and things like that. But their inside guys are big, tall guys. Like obviously we've played Calais Campbell a bunch, but he's still playing at a high level. Zeeler's playing really well too, and they work so well with games. Like they're not necessarily winning one-on-one all the time, but they run these pick games and they're twisting their linebackers they have all types of these games that we've been trying to work on the last few days in practice. So that'll be a big challenge for us. And they're all smart players. Like they know, when you're running certain looks and stuff like that. So it'll be a good challenge. Make sure we're communicating up front, make sure we're on the same page.
Dorian talked about stepping up in the pocket, trying to avoid some of those big sacks that he took in Cincinnati. The second game with him as a starter, do you think collectively you guys can improve on that?
Yeah, like you said, it's a group effort. Like if he's going to step up, the interior line has to be firm in the protection, and we have to give him a chance to step up. But the way we're setting and stuff, like it's allowing for the tackles to run him by at 10 or 11, let him step up. I think, you haven't played football in a year, like to get out there and it's going full speed and seeing live bulls for the first time. I think he has to, I think he's going to improve. I think there'll be extra good practice and all that stuff. But, they're a talented group up front, so it'll be a challenge for us.
This time of year, when the temperature's above freezing, I'm sure you're happy about it. But considering what Miami's record is when it is, below freezing, are you a little disappointed when you look at that forecast for Sunday?
No. I mean, it's supposed to be like a little rainy, right? Like 50 degrees or something like that. We have had a huge cold front, and now, December, January rolls around, and we're warming back up. But I don't look too much. I just see what the weather is for, like what cleats I'm going to wear. But, I mean, it would have been funny to play in like 20 degrees and let them freeze it out a little bit. Because I do hate going down there when it's like 90 degrees and humid. So, give them a little bit of payback.
Joel, do you feel like this team, even though you guys are 3-12, do you feel like turning is crazy following, or do you feel like a couple of pieces, quarterback play,
I do. I think I've seen it with majority of guys in here. Like we were a playoff team last year. We won 11 games. So I see the people and the talent and the pieces. I don't think it'll be easy, though. I think, you have to put your head down. You have to work. You have to have a plan in the offseason to improve. All these things have to go to it. But I don't think it's a total, like, gosh, we have no talent, nobody here.
I know you don't want to be too reflective at this point.
Yeah.
But just in your mind, do you have an idea of just what specifically has gone so wrong for you guys this year? And if so, in your thought process, then how quick of a fix is that?
Right. I wish I had like a answer, because then I would have been like telling the coaches like, hey, we should probably not do this. You know what I mean? Like this has been costing us games. But I think it just comes down, like you watch a play, and it's like, gosh, the left guard missed his block there. You know what I mean? Like if he made his block there, we got 10 yards. And then the next play, it's like, oh man, the receiver, was just a little bit off on his timing, or like, a pre-snap penalty. Like all these little things turn into the big things. And I think for us, it's been a case of the little things this year, which sucks because it's the details you look at and you're like, we can fix those things. And we obviously, it's been something new every week. If we fix one thing, something else breaks. So that's been a struggle for us. But I don't have a true like exactly what's going on. But it just seems like play to play, it's like one thing that hurts us, or the first drive of the game last week I think is a perfect example. Like you get down to the 1 yard line on the first drive, that put it in, and we fumbled, and they go 99 and score a touchdown, and it's like no one's fault, but it's like those are the type of things. You fumbled and you jump off sides on the first play on defense. You give a chance. We get back in the red zone to get a one-score game. We turn the ball over again. Like things like that are just like, that's not winning football, and that's kind of where we've been at this year.
Good. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
I'm going to blame the left guard.
I didn't want to blame anybody else. So.
That was smart.